So, one of my favorite memes that I have been seeing on TikTok lately are the ones that say, when I'm finally in my feminine era and the men are too. And it's always a series of text messages posted, the screenshots that show a woman communicating with a guy. And it displays the dustiest behavior. So things like men believing that just because they paid for a date or they bought a gift, that they are owed something physical in exchange. And I would love to think that this doesn't happen that often, but I know for a fact that it does. It happens all too often because unfortunately, I have clients who come to me and say things like they are hesitant to allow a man to pay on a date because they're afraid that if they allow the man to pay, he is going to think that he is owed something in exchange. So, with that in mind, let's talk about some of the things that you do not owe anyone in any relationship. So, welcome to Confidently Cherished. My name is Keisha Rice. I am a dating coach and hypnotherapist. I help women heal from their unhealthy relationships and to attract cherished, healthy partners. So, first thing that you don't owe to anyone, and not just romantic relationships, but especially in romantic relationships, you don't owe anyone your time. Time is an investment. Whenever it comes to anything you want in life, any goal that you have in life, there are two types of investments that you can make: time or money. And relationships often involve both. Even if you are the woman on the dating side, it takes time to get ready for a date. It takes money for hair, makeup, clothes, all of that. So you are making both investments here. And when you invest in yourself, you value yourself, you know that the time that you give to other people is a gift because you treat that gift preciously when it comes to your time with yourself. So why would you expect other people to be just as precious with that gift? Just because someone is nice to you does not mean that you owe them your time. Just because a man asks you out on a date does not mean that you owe him the time of giving him said date. Even just because a man is trying to get to know you and spend time with you, that does not mean that you owe him unlimited time. One of the first boundaries that you should set in dating and relationships is when it comes to your time. That could be things like I don't take phone calls or text messages after a certain period of time. If you want to call or text, you can do that, but I won't be answering. I won't be replying because my time is precious to me because my sleep is precious to me. Or this is the time that I'm working and I need to be able to focus. But at the end of the day, you do not owe anyone your time. The second thing that you don't owe to anyone is your energy. Just like your time is precious, so is your energy. And when it comes to our energy, as much as we like to think that we have an infinite amount of it, especially as we get older, we don't. And it is so important that as women, being in our feminine, being present, being in the moment, that we protect our energy at all cost, that we allow ourselves to be very intentional about what we spend energy on and how we spend that energy. For me, not only being a woman, but being someone who for many years has dealt with chronic illness, I really had to, when I got sick, I really had to get very intentional about my energy, about not stressing out all the time because doing so isn't healthy and it wasn't helping my health at all. But also just managing my energy for the things that were really important to me, the activities that I really liked. And it gave me higher standards when it came to dating because once I started getting really precious with my energy, then no, I couldn't accept low effort dates. Like, again, I was dealing with a chronic health issue and I just literally did not have the energy to spend on foolishness. The other thing that you don't owe people is explanations. No is, was, always will be a complete answer. And if someone offers to do something that you don't want to do, go someplace that you don't want to go, do something that is going to take up, to the first points, too much of your time or too much of your energy, you don't owe them anything other than to just say no. Now, if you want, you can be more polite. You can say, no, thank you. And if you want to give explanations, you can. But please never feel like you have to. And I really want to hone in on this because too often I see women who are raised to be people pleasers. And it's not that they want to give explanations, it's that they feel that no is an impolite thing. They feel that they have to explain themselves. They've been conditioned that people will not simply take their no for an answer. So they have to go out of their way to give justifications for it. You don't owe that to anyone. And I would honestly recommend that you stop giving explanations. The answer is yes or the answer is no. That is the end of it. See how that feels for a while. And once you get used to that, then you can decide whether or not you want to add an explanation to it, but get yourself in the habit of just giving no or yes as an answer and also accepting other people's no's as well. You also don't owe people apologies if you're not sorry. Now, this one's going to be controversial because I know that people have been conditioned to be people pleasers. I know that we've been conditioned to be polite. I know that we have been conditioned to, again, give explanations, give justifications, to make other people feel comfortable and to keep the peace. And it is one thing to understand when you were wrong in a situation. It is one thing to take accountability for that, to go to people, to be an adult and to understand, how you were wrong and to do your best to rectify that. It is another thing completely to say you're sorry because someone guilted you into feeling sorry. It's another thing completely to say sorry when you truly don't mean it. The thing that I find funny about other people telling us sometimes to keep the peace is they will tell you to keep the peace, but they don't say that to the person who is actively disturbing the peace with their behavior. So if you do not feel sorry for an action, you don't owe someone you're sorry. And you can feel this way and still negotiate and still try to talk things out with the person, try to come to an understanding, explain your side, your point of view. But you still don't have to say sorry unless you mean it. And I would say that it makes you a woman of integrity to only say sorry when you mean it. You also don't owe people insights into your private life. People are nosy, point blank, period. And this nosiness is just a matter of people's curiosity. It more than often does not come from a place of people wanting to help you, wanting your best interest or anything. It is just simple human curiosity. So when people try to get all into your business, really consider their motives. If someone is asking what you're up to, what you're doing, ask yourself, why do they need to know this? Why is it so important for them to have this information? And if you are not comfortable with sharing the information, you don't have to share it. You don't have to give it. So get very used to telling people it's none of your business. If you don't want to do that, get very used to changing the subject. But remember, you don't owe people insights into your private life just because they asked. And on social media, where everyone is sharing their private life, where everybody is crying about this thing or that thing every 20 seconds, you don't have to do that. You can be a private person, it's perfectly allowed. Other things that you don't owe people an explanation of your beliefs. How you believe is how you believe. So this goes back to not owing people explanations before on how you live your life, but I want to add explanations on how you believe as well, because you are allowed to have your own standards, deal breakers, and boundaries in dating. And if someone does not respect those, if someone doesn't fit those, they are simply not compatible with you, point blank, period. So, if, for example, a standard of yours is that you don't date someone who already has kids, then you don't date someone who has kids. If the person who is interested in you asks why, it's because you don't want to. You don't owe anyone explanations any further than that. You also don't owe someone an explanation of your feelings. If you are upset about something, if you are angry, if you are sad, if you are happy about something, You don't owe an explanation for why. You don't have to justify your feelings to other people. You don't owe someone um, dimming your light. You don't owe a lower light on you so that that person can shine. If another person wants to shine, they can step their game up. And the last thing that you don't owe someone is a response. This is one of the hardest things that it has been for me to learn being on social media for as long as I have been on social media. People would make comments, they would call me anything but a child of God. And I felt compelled that I always had to respond, that I had to justify why I posted what I posted. I had to get in the comment section and clap back. I had to, be smart with someone who was smart with me in the comment section. And the most peaceful thing that I ever did was realize that I don't owe people a damn thing, including I don't owe explanations. And since then, I have become the block queen. So I have no problem blocking people who aren't aligned with my content. I feel like I am doing them a favor. I am saving them because now they no longer have to put up with me and my opinions. So you never owe anyone a response. If someone says something that ticks you off, you can walk away. So these are 10 things that you don't owe other people. Let me know if you think that there's something that I have left out, if there's something else that you don't owe people that you want to mention in the comments. And if you enjoyed this, just know that your engagement is what helps keep this podcast going. So feel free to leave a review on iTunes or on Spotify, or if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to the channel and leave a review, leave a note in the comment section, and let me know that you enjoyed this because engagement gets this out for more people to see. And it also helps me again to keep the channel going. So I love you so much. Talk to you soon. Bye.